What to do with the continuing problem of asbestos contamination across Europe? MEPs say the issue is being forgotten. Removal measures so far aren't sufficient and lives are being jeopardised. EuroparlTV takes a closer look. A graveyard in Belgium for Europe's rusting toxic tubs. Seen another way, in this age of recycling, it's a birthplace of sound economic and ecological sense. Usable steel from old boats is big business. First, though, dismantlers have to remove a lurking danger, asbestos.
The first protection is to the environment. When we are working, taking away the asbestos, that the fibers are not going out of the vessel. And then the second protection is the individual protection of the workmen.
When this 50-year-old French destroyer is declared safe for the cutters, 30 to 40 tons of asbestos will have been removed.
As you can see here, we have someone ready to go in. We create a location where our men can dress and undress before they are going inside of the containment, and when they are coming out, every time they take a shower and then they have to dress here in this room.
Europe banned asbestos in 2005. Across Europe, a clean-up has been going on for decades, but many MEPs believe it hasn't gone far enough and are calling for new measures.
Existing rules continue to ignore the fact that it's there, and workers will continue to come across it for decades to come.
And the question of liability and compensation?
Industry ran away for a long time from the responsibility it had to the workers who'd been exposed to asbestos. I hope companies are becoming more responsible, owning up to their responsibility. The evidence is very, very clear now. There's no argument that asbestos is not the cause of a wide range of ailments, particularly mesothelioma within the European Union. And they really have to come clean now and pay the necessary compensation.
In a village near the Belgian city of Mons, an asbestos death count is taking place. A black dot for every person who worked with the material and died from an asbestos-related disease. That could be asbestosis when the lungs fill up with fibres, or mesothelioma, a rapacious cancer. The task is managed by Eric Jonker, co-chairman of the Main Victims Association.
Nous avons ici établi un registre de presque 130 noms de gens qui ne sont plus de ce monde parce qu'on leur a menti et ils ont été emportés par des maladies de l'amiante. Donc ça me touche de voir que dans les drames humains, il y a des gens qui osent se lever et qui osent dire non, même à des grands directeurs d'entreprise et à des grands capitaines d'entreprise.
The men here came into contact with asbestos when they worked at a now-closed factory of the construction materials company Eternit.
On peut faire ce qu'on veut et on ne saura jamais le faire payer assez. Mais je trouve que le gouvernement belge est responsable aussi. Parce qu'il n'y a pas que dans les usines d'amiante, dans les écoles, on a mis de l'amiante, tout ça, il y a eu des problèmes aussi. Mais eux, ils savaient.
Mr. Jonker, a cargo pilot who crisscrosses the planet from his company's base in Luxembourg, lost his mother, father, who was an engineer at Eternit, and two brothers to mesothelioma. They lived in the shadow of the plant in Capelle op den Bosch. In 2000, his mother, Françoise, refused a compensation payment from the company of around €40,000 and launched instead a claim through the courts. Jan Vermon, a renowned Belgian lawyer, is acting for the family.
For the first time in Belgian legal history, a court established the liability of Eternit, saying you were, for decades, you know exactly what was going on, you know the danger of what you were doing, and you, out of greed, and the court literally says you just continued, knowing that this would cost hundreds and thousands of lives.
The HQ of Eternit Belgium. It and associated companies employ around 1,000 people. It's coming to terms with the medical, social and business consequences of asbestos. During a briefing, Eternit's legal executive, Roland Verhil, talks through several key points from the company's side. That many industries used asbestos beyond the construction industry. That the company stopped using asbestos worldwide even before the EU ban. That it doesn't deny the past. And that it supports medical research, a safe working environment and community programs.
We have a past and we want to tackle the past, and that's the reason also we made a program and that we said, okay, it's not only about recognition of victims, it's broader than that. It's also about supporting medical research. It's also about our own premises. It's also about supporting the community where we can.
And of the judge's findings against Eternit?
We don't want to go into detail about the appeal, and I think that's something for this case. I think more important is to know what will Eternit do about the past. It's something that is coming closer, and we are trying to tackle it in a correct way.
What next in the wider effort to remove asbestos? The European Parliament wants a series of measures to identify asbestos hotspots, improve training for anyone coming into contact with it, help for victim support groups, and a worldwide ban. No easy thing to do, especially when you're looking at high margins. But Parliament's ambitions are high too, looking at the prospects for abolishing all existing asbestos and getting just recompense for its victims. Governments have taken their eye off the asbestos file, MEPs argue, and it's time now to put the lid finally on a modern-day scourge.